Good morning, traders. Today is July 21st and New York session starts in a few minutes. I will show you what market looks like today and how to trade it. Let's get to the chart. If you remember from previous days, we always do USDT first because we have to have a good understanding of how the entire market is going to trend for us. So the trend of the market for today, as you can see, we do have some bullish momentum. So in the market, it's going to be the bullish momentum, but on the dominance, as you can see, USDT, we have the bearish momentum. I'm going to show you my charts, just so you know how proud we are of ourselves. These are not just some crowded drawings, but these are the experiences. These are the history that we made together during the past few weeks. So we talked about this double top here. If you remember this double top, as we talked about it in previous videos, if you haven't watched, please go ahead and watch. There are a lot of important and very detailed hints and tips inside them. So you have to understand and learn that what does this double top actually do to the charts. It just doesn't mean that it's going to go up and down, but how should we trade it? We've talked about it in previous videos all the way, and we're gonna talk about it more. So don't worry if you've missed anything. And if you don't have the time to go back, we will go through them more. We talked about the lines, every single one of them we hit. Once we hit the lines here, for example, if I go to the 4 hours time frame, once we hit these lines, we talked about how to trade them. So right now it looks messy, I know, but at the time that we filmed these videos, if you remember from the previous days on, okay, so this happened on, so we talked about these lines, these two on Friday, if you remember. We drew this and we talked about how to trade them exactly step by step. What should be my entry, what should be my stop loss, my target, everything. We talked about it. I'm gonna get rid of them right now just to keep the chart a little bit more cleaner here, and I will go to what we talked about here. So we also had a few good trades around here, all right? So the trade we talked about here was, one of them was this one. If you remember, we drew this box, and what we talked about, hitting this box is going to take us up. So this is 1 hour time frame, and it took the about 1.6% up. This was a great, again, another great setup that we had. And below that, breaking below that, so again, it touched it twice. So once here and another time here. And we talked about how fragile can the zones be. Once we hit one zone, how fragile it can be, how it can go lower and lower, and right now we are here. One of the major zones that we talked about was this green box. Okay, this was, just so you know, the white box here. This was just the setup that I introduced to you for your, it was just for your futures trading, okay, for your scalps. But the green box here, if you remember, this was the major box. The green box was the major box, and what we talked about was that below the green box, there is a good chance of continuing lower and lower. And now I want to talk about this. All right, so what we have for today, I'm in the daily time frame of USDT. USDT, as you know, it actually not manipulate the market, but it's the exact opposite side of the market. So if the USDT goes down, the market goes up. So if we break, which means that if we break below this line and we hit and we go all the way down here, so let's say if we had something like this, right now it's forming it. If we form something like this and USDT, it crashes down, then it means that the market is going to pump. I think you know this better than me, and I'm just saying this for anyone who doesn't know, but just repeating it. I'm gonna put the price tags here so you have it. These are very major price tags. Once we break this, we're not gonna have any candles like this, small ones. You see, these are very small candles, as you can see here. You see this doji here, or this pin bar, any of these. This doji here, you see these are small. Even this one, it's very small. Comparing to this candle, comparing to this green candle, I'm going to mark it so you know. You see, these are big candles, okay? Once we broke below this, we're gonna have similar candles to this, but in red. So it will be a huge bullish spike for crypto market, okay? Everyone's gonna be, I don't know, Trump said something, or everyone's gonna be, the news is doing this and that, but no, it's irrelevant. remember the chart is showing us the way, okay? So we have this line. I'm gonna put the price tag on it too, so you have it. This is too soon, this is too early for us to enter, okay? You're not allowed to make any long position at now. Again, I'm just saying from my own perspective, but me, myself, I'm not gonna open any long positions right now. What matters right now is to just wait for a few days, because right now we're in the daily time frame. And up until we break below this, okay? And either we're gonna break below this, or I will show you how to do it in other ways. So 8.15%, that's the price that we're looking for. That's the percentage that we're looking for. Why that number matters? Because we do have a lot of resistance before that, okay? This is my hourly time frame chart, okay? I'm going to put the price tags on the USDTD hourly time frame, so you also have a good understanding. This white box, we had it from before. If you had this, you could have get this leg, very beautiful. If you go to the 15-minute time frame, so you can see you could have got this. So it's bullish here, but bearish momentum on the crypto market, or you could have got that. I will leave it here, okay? 8.2. And we do have the next ones. This is another important one, 8.919, okay? This white box, there is a good chance that we stick here for a while, okay? Right now, it keeps touching it, something like this, going up, going down, and then here, making a structure like this, okay? And the reason that I'm saying is that, so you have a better understanding of the reasons. Right now we touched this, we broke above this, okay? So we couldn't broke below this. We couldn't broke inside the white box. As you can see, this one, the closed candle is above this. And right now the green candle here is on top of it. And so there is a good chance that we are making a head and shoulder here, okay? There is a good chance that we're making a head and shoulder here, and then they continue. So you got the gist, okay? Once we broke below this, then 8.19 is going to be our next target, and then there's a good chance to pull back to retrace to 8.2 again, the top of the box, and as you can see, it's already making a good support resistance trend line out of it. So right now it's a support, but once it's inside the box, it's going to be a good resistance, and once we hit here, it's going to go back all the way down to the bottom of this box. And once we hit here, again, it's going to be bouncing and ranging here. It's going to be some consolidation inside the box until we break from either way. If we break above, then it's going to continue the momentum up until the top of the next box, the other box here, 8.28. Otherwise, we are going to see, which this scenario is more probable, we're going to see 8.90, okay? So again, once we're here, we're talking about the lower time frames, 15 minutes. Initially, I was talking about the higher time frame. This is my daily time frame. We're not gonna trade on daily. We're just gonna find the trend. What is the trend right now? Should I make more buys or more lows? But right now, as you can see, you have a good understanding of next to what level I should make what kind of positions of which the direction. All right, let me go to my Bitcoin. On Bitcoin 4-hour time frame, we are also at the same price that we talked about. This bearish 4-hour bearish order blocks. This is something that we talked about. Here we do have the bullish break of structure. If you remember from, I think on it was last week Monday, what we talked about was that to draw this line. So whenever we reach here, you must make, not must, again, these are all your responsibilities, but it's a good place to short the market, okay? So if you're working on demo accounts, you must short the market at this price. You should have done this. And you can see that from here, we had a nice bearish momentum. It was very, very good if with, I don't know, what is the leverage you're working with, if you're working with, for example, let's say 40, 50x, then it would have been a very, very nice trade for you. So these are the pullbacks we're looking forward, and moving on the same. So right now we are in the bearish order block 2, and we can see that the candles are not as strong as they used to be. So take a look at this candle. You see that we have a big full-bodied candle here. This one too. So we have a big candle here. Let me point it out with this candle here. You can see that it has a huge shadow, okay? The shadow on this candle, it means that it took all the sellers' orders and it moved all the way up, okay? We had a nice pullback. The pullback couldn't close below this candle. It still shows the bullish momentum. And then from here, we moved up and up and up, okay? But the issue is that we had this big candle here, but these two, they are getting weaker and weaker. It's not yet as weak as it should be, because when we have the high wicks, then when we have the high shadows, high wicks, then it's going to be, then we're gonna say the momentum is more or less over. So we're expecting a retracement, a pullback, and the retracement or the pullback, it doesn't mean that it's going to crash all the way to the 49K. No, not 49K, not 50K, just up to this zone, the bullish momentum zone. So it can come anywhere around here, okay? Just one tap and then going up. And that's, again, that's too much for it, okay? Just one tap to this zone and then moving up. Now I will move to the 1 hour and 15 minutes time frame, so you know what to trade and how to trade it. For today, what I would do, I will wait for, we have one good FVG here. I'm really thankful for a strategy trader. It shows me what I need to do and what I need for my trading. So I have this FVG here. Tapping this on lower time frames, right now I'm an hourly time frame. Tapping this on 5 minutes or 15 minutes, it's gonna give me some bounces. And also this bullish BOS, this is another level for my, I'm gonna put the price tags on it. If you don't have a strategy trader, these are the good levels for my entry of long, okay? Next thing I do is I identify the lowest part here. This is the lowest of the chart, okay? And right now we are at the top, at the high here. I'd rather not to make short positions, but you can, if you're fast, you're quick, and you can get in and out fast. So you know the zones, you know the levels, and you know how to do it. But otherwise, you have to find the lows and tops, and then draw a Fibonacci from here, the bottom of this, and to the high, to the most top here. From here, you can find the OTE, the optimum trading entry. What that means is that I have to find a 50% of this, okay? Let me see if I can draw something here. So this is the 50%. This is my 50%, okay? So I have to wait for this 50%. Once it reaches here, it's gonna have some moves, some bounces. And I'm more certain about it right now, about this 50% zone. And the reason is that right now it's on our bullish, the green line, the bullish BOS line, okay? That's why it can give me a nice long position. So wherever around here, at about here, I can also target at about this points. Your stop, it depends on you. If you're doing a high risk, it depends on your entry. But again, this is just to showing you what is the good zone for a good reaction. If you're working on 5 minutes, 15 minutes, definitely if you're working on 1 minute, it's gonna be way faster than this. So you don't want this big ass stop loss here. But if you're doing it lower, or if you wanted lower risk, you can even do it 1-to-1. So usually below the low here, and then the top is gonna be the target. Or if you wanna do with a better risk to reward, you can have it here, or even at the next zone. For example, you can have it here, and then you can target the top here, all right? So these are the things that you can target, you can have on your chart, and it's gonna give you very nice, so we can have both this trade and the one below it, okay? These are all very good zones that you can have. Again, if you're working on lower time frames, 1 minute, this FVG is going to give you a lot of trades, okay? Once we touch here, once we hit here, it's gonna have some bounces. But then the lower, the better. This zone, the 65,800, it's both the BOS and the OTE, the 50% of the Fibonacci, which is really important. So make sure you know how to play this, you know your risk to reward. The most important part is to stay safe and don't get liquidated. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.